if all goes as planned, we will be the owners of another floating cabin. But it's gonna need a lot of work, back-breaking, just non-stop.
Whenever we're done with it, we're not keeping it. Somebody's gonna have to buy it, and it could be one of y'all.
This is Brandon, I'm Sarah, and of course, our beloved Aiko. Frustrated by the ever-increasing cost of living, we sold everything, went out on a limb, and left our traditional life on land behind. We built a new kind of dream together, and have been living full-time in our homemade slice of paradise ever since. We are always learning new ways to navigate this unique life off the grid and on the water, so grab a drink and join us for the ever-evolving adventure that is keeping afloat.
This is actually the very first time that I'm seeing it as well, so I'm excited to see what the bones are like, what kind of potential there is, and how big of a project this is going to be, how much work we're about to have to put in. Let's go check it out.
Just under a year ago, an opportunity arose to purchase an old, rundown floating house just across the harbor from us. Besides just being a bit dated, this property had no running water or electricity and was sitting atop 100% illegal flotation. There were mice and otter feces everywhere, the house itself was bending in half, and the bathroom was inside the tool shed.
Huh. Is this the only toilet in the house, or is there one inside too?
No, this is it.
Okay.
They ain't a shower, a toilet, and nothing. It's actually in really good shape. It just needs completely remodeled.
It's in great shape except for everything that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, everything needs to be fixed.
Understandably, many people would probably look at a property like this as a lost cause. After all, the fixer-uppers that you see on HGTV shows in some city suburb on land is one thing. Nothing to it but to rent a couple big dumpsters for the front yard and hire a contractor and crew and get to work. But take away that front yard, pick up that fixer-upper and plop it down on an unstable waterlogged foundation, then push it out into the middle of a rural mountain lake an hour-and-a-half drive away from the nearest Home Depot, not including the boat ride? Yeah, well, we'd have to wish you good luck even finding a contractor equipped for a job like that, let alone affording them. But luckily, the consistent inconvenience of renovating on the water is something Brandon and I have grown quite accustomed to over the past few years. And although we may not have a contractor's license or a sky-high budget, what we do have is a solid work ethic and a unique first-hand understanding of exactly what works and what doesn't when it comes to floating home design and materials specifically. So when we toured that old lost cause for the first time, what we saw was an epic opportunity.
The view alone makes this worth doing in our opinion. Like, it's inherently valuable because of that right there. Anything else that we can do to fix it up is just bonus.
We quickly formed a vision of what this property had the potential to be, and that vision began to infiltrate our dreams.
We'll come out another 4 feet and this will be boxed in.
But I've said it before and I'll say it again. The thing about dreams is that they don't work unless you do.
This is what they call sweat equity, huh?
Man!
On the front.
To be a plumber, you don't need to know much. Hot's on the left, cold's on the right, shit flows downhill, so.
Check this out.
frame scened up. Ready, Freddy.
Whoa, let's go.
Slow down, mama, why you talk so mean? Good Lord, Nashville, it ain't what it seems. Got nice clothes, midnight shows, boogie down at the bar, fiddle tunes and homemade booze, but it always goes too far. Shooting pool, crack a jack, take off now and don't look back, but hey.
Your girlfriend's,
Good.
yeah, she's in the clear.
But she ain't here right now.
What is she like?
She can read a tape measure.
She sounds hideous.
Hold on, sugar, why you look so sad? Come on now, mama, ain't nothing here so bad. You got fast cars, movie stars, party on down the street with Mary Jane, good cocaine, plenty down there to eat. You can double down, throw some dice, you can take off now, don't think twice, but hey, don't you wanna play? Baby, come on. Tell me where you wanna go. But baby, I don't work down there anymore. No, I don't. Oh, Ray, mama, sure is getting late. Come on now, mama, don't you hesitate. Grab my hand, well, we land. I got the champagne. We can knock it back, get on track.
We
Come on,
have
practice
counters.
that. Double down, roll the dice, take off now, don't think twice. Hey, don't you wanna play? Say hey. Don't you wanna play?
Walking home late at night, maybe 2:30. A little drunk, but I'm alright. Cause I've been hanging with you, and it feels like love. Tell me if I'm wrong, cause it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like love.
Oh my gosh. Careful, careful.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
All right, back to work.
All right. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. Yeah. I think about you and I want you here with me. Am I out of my mind?
We got one chance to get this cut right.
Last build of this build.
Moment of truth.
How about that?
Yeah, it feels like love. Yeah. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you.
Wow, watching that recap is such a high. It's so satisfying after so many long hours of work. Now, Since you're all caught up, there is one last thing that we would like you guys to know about this house that you haven't seen in our videos up to this point, and that is the story of how we acquired it in the first place.
Most of these floating houses, it takes me 3 or 4 years to get someone to sell. So this Blue Bungalow, this guy, he came here, he's been here forever. He was here before the lake was actually formed and remembered fishing in the river, real old man, named Casey Jones. And me and him argued and bickered all the time, and that was our friendship. So another thing about LC, y'all know y'all call me Old Man Jones. He was the true Old Man Jones. A grumpy man, give you the shirt off his back, but by gosh, he'd tell you what he thought about you.
Every time I saw him, he was just giving Brandon hell about something. I mean, you could just always tell that was like his form of love, and him and Brandon got on so great because of that. You thought they were family. Brandon would always be bugging him like, hey man, when are you gonna sell me that house? When are you gonna sell me that house? You never come up here anymore. When are you gonna sell me the house? And he'd always be like, I ain't selling you that thing. I'd rather just give it to you.
He fell ill and wanted us to have it, so his wife called and we bought it from them before he passed away.
And I think the only reason that we were able to actually give them something in return for it was because he was so sick. Because if he had any better health to him, he'd have absolutely kicked Brandon in the teeth if he knew he'd given any money for it. He was just that kind of guy. So generous.
He came over to the surf shack when we got it done, and it was probably one of the nicest things he ever said to me. He was like, this is first class, you know. So he thought the surf shack was first class. He's definitely gonna think that Blue Bungalow is probably smiling down on us from somewhere. Alright guys, we put in 10 months here and on and off, so it wasn't full time, but we put in a lot of work, sweat and tears, did a good job. I think this is one of our best builds. Visually came out really great. I think the man that sold us this really would be really happy with what we turned it into, and so we're dedicating this build to him, Mr. LC Jones.
One's for you, LC.
That's right.
I'll show you guys around. So welcome to the side dock of the house here. This house has 597 square feet of dock space outside, 400 square feet of living space inside. So you got sprawling space, open dock on the front, another one here on the side, and then covered porch area if you want to be in the shade. We've added some awesome hanging swings here. And then of course I would imagine whoever wants to buy it would probably put, you know, some patio furniture, that kind of thing. But we just wanted to provide a lot of extra space so there's opportunity to do whatever you would want with it. So if you follow me around the back of the house here, we've got some of our utilities going on. So this is the hot water heater as well as the propane that feeds it. The propane is also used for cooking, could be used for heat, and also refrigeration. Right underneath the hot water heater is the water spigot where the main water line is plumbed into the house. It runs underwater all the way from the marina, so there is city water at this house, which is a huge perk. I really can't understate how big that is. It's very uncommon on this lake to have city water plumbed in, so we're pretty excited about that. So the overall theme of the aesthetic of this house, the Blue Bungalow, is that we wanted it to be very nautical and yet cozy and high class. So the trim color of the paint that we chose is called Sailor's Coat, and we kind of modeled the rest of the house around that. If you think about an old classic sailor's coat, you have the blues and the whites and also some really fun like brass fixtures and touches that would kind of mimic the buttons on a sailor's coat. This is a very little touch, but it's just one of my favorite things about this house. We have this little rain chain here. It is just too cute. We don't even have gutters at our house, and I was like, I think I just want some of these for decoration. So here along the side of the house, we have the outlets and inlets for our solar generators. So one thing that's really cool about this house, even better than our house, is that we have a smart generator system installed. Basically, there's a gas-powered generator that sits out here. The reason that it's smart is because it's connected with the solar system. So when it detects that the batteries are low, it cuts on all by itself, charges the house right up in less than an hour. The wastewater holding tank is accessible here on the front porch, which is a really nice feature so you don't have to crawl underneath the house for something to go wrong. This is also how the pump boat comes and connects for the pump outs to remove the waste from your holding tank. The house is of course anchored. It's not just floating around aimlessly wherever the wind may take it. So it's got an anchor out front that goes down to a 10,000-pound concrete block, and it's also tethered to land out the back of the house in 2 different places. One thing that is worth mentioning is that, you know, the biggest selling point of a floating house is its location, right? Not only the fact that it's on the water, but this house specifically, the fact that you have the Great Smoky Mountains National Park as literally your front yard and your view. Just for reference, a single acre of land lakefront on this lake is over $250,000, undeveloped, no house, no nothing. So I think that really does put into perspective just how valuable the location and the view alone is, let alone, you know, what we've done with the house, which we're really excited to show you, and I'm going to let Brandon show you the inside now.
All right, so y'all come with me and I'll take you inside this place. This 400 square feet, we maximized it and made it pretty damn spacious. Over here is where we store our batteries and our smart generator when it's not in use. It's also dull as a cushion area so people can sit, talk, hang out. We put in an EcoFlow system that has 1280 watts of solar, and this thing powers this whole house. It's actually all the lights, plug-ins. You want to run a vacuum cleaner, blender to make margaritas. Come over here to this island. This is the first island we ever did. We put it in solid butcher block countertops. Do a little copper accent on top of this where the cut-in is, and bam! Got some bar stools that go in right here so you can sit at this table. We wanted you to be able to look up the lake and also look down the Eagle Creek. That way you had this great view. This one's got 2 beautiful views both directions. Come into this bedroom. Doorknobs actually work, and there are doors, unlike our house. So we moved up in the world. We threw in the floating bed, left plenty of room for somebody to figure out if they need a dresser, nightstand, open shelving, whatever they want to do. We got a bunk bed room. This is strictly to throw the kids in, and bam, they're in there and they're done. This is all it is, just a small room. Now, if you don't have kids or whatever, the people can take this out. This could be a junk room, office you need it to be. If you work from home, this could be that little room. These are propane and electric refrigerators. They're real expensive, but they're very efficient. So we threw one of these in here. You can use either or depending on what your battery consumption looks like for the day. Went with the Lazy Susan in this, like at our house. We love this thing. It's got a lot more storage than what you would have in a regular cabinet. And then through cabinets all the way down it. 115-pound cast iron sink, enamel coated, super nice. All new windows in this house. Everything is double pane. Great for insulation. And then in the bathroom here, we threw a smart toilet in here. These toilets are very nice. They think, they know what they're doing, and you don't have to. Threw in the 38-inch shower. Lots of space in here. And of course, Sarah's got some plants here that don't die. Nautical touch on your coat hangers here for your towel racks. Just throw you a couple cleats in there if you're on a boat. Bam, you got something that looks cool, that actually works and it's functional. Floor in this house is insulated on the bottom. It's spray insulated in the ceiling, and then it has attic vents cut into it and R19 laid on top of this tongue and groove. This house doesn't absorb the heat from the sun. It does really good on keeping cool inside when you would think it would be super warm. In this living room area, we threw this little day bed in here, but I would picture like a sectional that kind of helped depending on how many people you got, but this was just kind of to say if you needed extra sleeping for people, this helps because you get 2 beds out of it. So we put the house on Facebook Marketplace, listed it, got 90,000 hits in 5 days.
For those who may be interested in purchasing this cabin, I'm both sorry and elated to say it's already under contract. But feel free to shoot us an email if you'd like to be considered in case anything falls through, as well as for any future cabins we flip. We'd be more than happy to keep you in mind and in the loop.
Hit us up on our email, Sarah will pop it right here. Like, comment, subscribe, and donate to your local lakes, charities, whatever. Keep them clean so that people can enjoy stuff like we got here.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining us. If you want to check out the renovation from the start, I'll put the link to the playlist in the description. Would definitely recommend that because the journey is always more exciting than the finished product, believe it or not. This has been truly an epic journey. We're happy to be done, but we're just so psyched about what came out of it.
Oh yeah, no, this thing's slick. Slick.
I'm sure they already want to know what's next.
What's next? We'll get another one and build it. Once we figure out which one we're gonna get, this will be the last one in this harbor. Unless somebody decides to move out of this harbor, which nobody's moved out in forever. So we've got to start figuring out how we're going to do them and do them down the lake. If anybody's got any interest in selling their floating cabin on Fontana Lake, let us know. We'll look at it, see if we can do something with it.
Big shout out to our subscribers who have been following along with this journey from the start. You have no idea how much your encouragement and kind words each week mean to us. And if you're new with us, hit subscribe and buckle up, because this is only the beginning.